Hey guys, Summer here, coming to you from Greensboro Downtown Yoga for this nice and gentle 30-minute stretch routine. Today I'm actually going to give you the opportunity to do this all seated in a chair. So it's going to be just this really nice, gentle stretch for you. I would encourage you, if you've been sitting for a long time today, maybe before you do this, you could pause if you're not with me live and just walk around for a couple minutes just to get some blood flowing into your body. But other than that, I want you to go ahead, find your chair, sit up super tall in it. If you have available to you, there'll be a chance today when I invite you to use a strap. If you've got a belt, a towel, blanket, anything around you could suffice for that as well, or you don't need it at all. But let's just sit really tall. Your back is against the chair. Our eyes are shut. Just focus in on our breathing. All week, I've been inviting us to think around this quote from a line from a song that I love. It says, "All fearless and young." I've been thinking about ways that we can be fearless, that we can let go of what's holding us back. We can disengage from the stories we tell ourselves that are negative. Instead, we can just be in the moment, allowing our bodies to do what feels good. As you take just a few more centering breaths right here. Focus in on what does it mean to you to be fearless. How can we remind ourselves of that even in a gentle stretching routine like this? With the rise and fall of your breath, and slowly open your eyes. We're going to slide to the very edge of our chair. Not very edge, but just enough where your feet are firmly planted on the floor. We can find this hip crease in our leg. And we're just going to have our hands by our sides on the chair as you lift and lower a leg. The more you kind of slide to the edge of the chair, the more you'll find that you can lift and lower. What I'm wanting us to do right here is get movement into this hip. If you are with me live, and you didn't take a couple minutes before joining to warm up, or you didn't partake in the barre class with me, and just getting this little bit of movement into our hips will allow it so that we are not stretching an ice cold muscle, which is not good. The whole time, imagine there's a string on the top of your head that's just pulling you an inch taller. Use your breath each time you lift a leg. So one more. Lower both feet to the ground, still here on the edge of the chair. You're going to lift one heel at a time. I'm actually going to turn a little bit to the side so you can see this. See how I'm just lifting one heel. Lift and lower. It's getting movement into your ankle joints in a way that you might not be used to doing, right? If you wear heels a lot throughout the day, this might be a really tight area on you. cut off in the camera windows. Let's do 2 more. Might feel really nice. You might be all of a sudden going, oh, hi to my calves. Lower both heels to the ground. Just let your feet gently come to the ground as you give a great big inhale up. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale as we reach our arms to the sky. Exhale down. Continue this movement of our shoulders. What we're doing right now is what's called dynamic mobility or dynamic stretching. It's a way to get range of motion and get some heat into our body before we static hold a stretch. And that's what research these days is telling us is the safest way to move, is that we need to get a little bit of heat, a little bit of movement before we just jump into holding a stretch. This doesn't have to look a certain way. It's just about reaching up and lowering down. Let's bring your hands to your thighs, and you're going to look over your right shoulder, come to center, look over your left shoulder, and I just kind of want it to be this side-to-side look. Maybe your eyes are shut. This doesn't have to be a certain way. Just want to find movement in the middle of your back. Feel if you've got tightness going to one side. It's pretty common that one side is tighter than the other. Come back to center. Sit up tall. You're just going to make little wrist circles. And this is one of those areas that I find myself over the last couple of years gravitating to doing more of, because we don't do enough wrist type movements, and yet our hands and fingers and all get so tight. Take it into stretch. Sit up really tall. Tip your left ear to your right shoulder. Find that length on the side of your neck. Come back in and go to the other side. And just notice on yourself. Does one side hold more tension? I tore a ligament in my neck in November. And so going this direction is much harder for me still. Unfortunately, with the COVID shutdown, I am not able to continue going to my physical therapist who does manual manipulations on it. So I'm trying to do it on my own, but boy, is a tight neck not fun. Let's come back to center. Look down to the floor. And look up to the sky. And just nod your head, yes. Allow the chin to come to the chest. Feel that down at your back. Or at least I do with my neck issues. And come back to center and say no. See how much you can look over your shoulder. Say no to expectations that we put on ourselves. No to the negative mindsets that hold us back. The moments in time where you say, no, I don't want to do this because it's hard or it's difficult or it's new. That's what life is a journey of newness and a journey of new opportunities. Come center, over your shoulders. These moves that seem so simple, yet we all kind of forget to do them on a daily basis. I wanted to do this in a chair to show you how easy it could be while watching TV, while sitting at your desk, to get some movement into your body in a way that just feels nice. This isn't about big power movements or moments. It's just about getting the body to feel good. Let's rotate, look over our right shoulder. You may grab hold if you've got a chair like mine where you can grab it. But you're going to take your left leg and press, or your left hand, press into your right leg and look over your shoulder. So now we are doing this static hold in the middle of our back. Allow your shoulder to stay down and away from your ear. Come back to center. Switch sides. Rotate and feel the twist. If you're a parent and you're stuck at home with kids, this can be a really great thing that you teach them that when they're seated, they can do stuff like this. Oftentimes we think chair workouts are only for older adults or people who are injured, and I think that's such a bad misconception. The chair is just a great way to allow our body to move in a seated position. Come back to center. You're going to take both hands behind you and press. Again, if you've got a chair like mine where you can grab it, you can do that. I like to take my hands, because I have a chair like this, and let my palms be facing out, and then I arch my back. I look up to the sky. It's this great stretch across the front of our chest. You don't want to push into your lower back so much that you feel that arch. You're going to feel an arch because that's natural, but you don't want to feel pain. We're squeezing our shoulder blades together even more here. Release. Back to center. I'm just kind of stretch, shake, do anything in this moment that just kind of feels nice. Bring your hands by your side. Big deep inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Rotate, look over your right side. Inhale up to center. Exhale, look over your left side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, both hands grab behind you. Lift and open your chest. I'm such a fan of these fluid little flows. And I kind of realize that's my signature, and that's how I move well. It's by giving you these opportunities to find the place through a fluid flow. Inhale, rise. So let's do that again. Use your head to fall up. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. It's a great chance to work on our breath with movement. Let's do it one more time. So give me that great big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift up. Have this proud chest moment. This chance to say, I am free. Release. Beautiful job. We're going to sit up really tall. This is a chance, if you have a strap, grab it. If not, it's perfectly okay. If you have a chair, and this really depends on your height and your comfort level. You might be able to sit in the back of the chair for this and be okay. I can't, because you notice the chair is too deep, my legs are too short, so I need to be on the edge of my chair. And most of you probably, depending on the chair, will find that as well. You're going to take your strap or your towel or whatever you might have available to you. You're going to place it around the bottom of your right foot. And I want you to just pull on that strap. Lift your chest as high as you can. And then you're going to lift and lower. I don't know if you saw it. You guys see how my knee these pants really show it, how it kind of bows back like that? That's what we call hyperextended. If you have a knee that does that as well, just kind of notice. It feels to me right now where you can see it look straight. I feel like I have like a 90-degree bend in my knee. And I've always been that way. And that's just kind of the nature of my body. I have those hypermobile joints. But right now, we're working to get length behind our hamstring. And again, a little bit of dynamic movement into our hip. Hold this one up. You're going to bring your foot in so it crosses over that opposite leg. Your ankle and your knee are now touching. You're going to take that foot and flex your foot and then press on not on your knee, but actually on your thigh. And then I like to take this hand, my left hand, and push it into the chair. So the whole time I'm sitting up super tall right here, right? I want to look nice and want to put my hair down for you today, but it's driving me crazy. I'm remembering why I don't ever wear it down to do stuff. Breathe and sit tall. You're going to feel this into your outer hip right here. Especially if you spend a lot of your days seated, this might be a really tight spot for you. And release that leg. And now your knee is going to cross over top of your knee. It's like you're sitting in this really cross-legged position, right? Take your arm and rotate. As you do, I want you to just kind of pull in on the side of that leg. You may not feel a ton here, but what we're doing is getting a little bit deeper into the IT band with this rotation. Let's do that on the other side. So let's start with our strap. Place it on the bottom of our foot. Straighten our leg. Feel the lift out of our body. And then lift our leg. Now remember, it doesn't have to come high. That's not what this is about. It's about finding the length behind your hamstring. So if your leg, this is all you want to do, go for it. That's all you need to do. You have this just nice, tall. Maybe it's a chance to shut your eyes. To see how tall you can lift out the top of your body. Hold your leg lifted. Bend your knee in and let's cross over. Ooh. I automatically found this side was much tighter. We take our left hand, press it onto our thigh. Our right hand presses onto the chair. And the goal here is to try to get this leg to be as parallel to the floor as possible while flexing this foot. We sit up tall. And feel that hip. That's what the press down motion of the hand is about, is to help get deeper into that hip. Release that cross your leg over so you can have that knee over knee position as if you were just sitting cross-legged. Sit up tall, our right hand comes to the outside and we rotate. As we do that, we press in to the side of our leg. So we get this rotational movement. Allow yourself the opportunity to just breathe. Release. You're going to slide to the edge of your chair. You're going to step one foot back. So what I'm trying to do is stretch into this hip flexor. Notice I'm seated here on the chair. And I've just stepped this foot back so that this hip is pushing forward. That bottom knee is dropped to the ground. The more we just sit our weight down while pushing this hip forward, it should be a pretty deep, intense stretch into that hip flexor. So breathe into it. This is no different than if I was standing in crescent, but now I'm using the assist of the chair so that I'm not having to focus on like the strength element. And I'm really just using my hip and strength and stretching into my hip. Lift your chest tall. Come back to center. Release. Let's do that on the other side. It's a pretty deep, intense stretch. Step your foot back. Sitting on the edge of the chair. Your body is tall and we're pushing into that front hip. Notice I had that heel lifted, and it's a bad habit of mine because of this ankle. You want the foot flat on the floor with the knee directly over the center of your foot. Just push into this. So if you are a person who sits all day, or maybe you stand all day at work, and you find that your lower back is starting to bother you, it could be these hips. And so getting opportunity to stretch into these hips is such a fabulous gift that we can give to ourselves seated in a chair, right? We're holding each for about 30 to 60 seconds, which is roughly the amount of time they say that we start to get stretch benefits. Research really shows that holding for 60 plus seconds is ideal for static stretches. Come back in. Just kind of step and march your legs. Get some of that movement back into there, because I know that might have been a really deep, intense stretch for you. We're going to sit tall. We're going to work an area that people often forget about, and that's our feet. There's a great movement mantra that's all about your feet. We're going to do a very short version. Right now, I want you to take your hands, so you've got these 4 fingers, and thread one finger in between each toe. Okay, they call it that yogi handshake. We're pushing our fingers in, and we're just going to move this joint. And I'm wanting us to just get that nice movement into our toes. Maybe you circle and go different directions. Notice my ankle starts to move a little bit. That's good. That's joint mobility. That's flexibility of our feet. We forget about our feet, but they actually are the area that has the most ligaments, joints, and muscles in the compacted area than anywhere else of your body, unless you look at the skull. But it's so important to get movement. Just kind of move your entire ankle. Think, when was the last time you just said, I'm going to stretch my foot? Right? Moving that ankle, go both directions. just as important as moving our head and our shoulders and all those areas that we've been doing. Release. Let's switch sides. So again, we find 4 fingers thread between toes. We move our foot back, our toes back and forth. And just notice, are you able to get that full flexion? This is called that foot fold, right? Where we get that movement into our foot. Do you have it? Are you able to do it? My feet tattoos are such replications of who I was at different points in my life. This one says releve, which means dancer. That one is a little runner girl. And it's interesting when I think about my feet during those different parts of my life. When I was a dancer, I had this really great arch. My feet were really strong. Let's go circles with it. I walked around barefoot all the time, and my feet I never worried about them. When I was a runner, my feet became very flat. I lost the strength of my arch. My feet hurt a lot. If we think, it's kind of an interesting dichotomy between those two, running versus dancing. As dancers, we need really strong feet. As runners, we're just like plop, 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 right? Yeah, we might get good shoes, but the more we can really focus on getting movement into our feet, the less chances you'll have of things like plantar fasciitis, shin pain, hip pain, knee pain. So take the chance. Bring your foot down to the ground. Please make sure to wash your hands after this class. I mean, we're washing our hands all over the time, but you just play on your feet, so important. Lift one heel at a time, just like we did at the beginning. Notice if it feels any different. Maybe you can get just a little bit higher. Maybe you can get a little bit more movement. No, there's so much we can do to make our body feel good in a short period of time. If you notice how we did this today, we spent the first half working on some upper body movement. We spent the second half working on some lower body movement. So even if you only have 15 minutes, you could chunk this and do 15 minutes, and then maybe later you do 15 additional minutes. We're gonna sit really tall. Slide to the back of your chair. Now you're gonna see, I'm gonna find a seated position that I enjoy, which for me is to bring my legs crossed into this chair. I think it's because I'm short and I like this position. If it feels good, keep your feet flat on the chair, or flat on the floor. And we're gonna sit really tall. Just breathe. Oftentimes, the most important thing that we can do in a day is just breathe. It's such a vital part of life. I mean, it is life. We stop breathing, we stop living. But to do focused breathing. So I want to finish with a breathing practice. As you might have joined last week, it's the same. It's the box breath. I find this to be such a relaxing breath pattern. So how it works, we'll inhale for a count of 4. We'll hold for a count of 4. We'll exhale for a count of 4. And we'll hold for a count of 4. So I'll walk you through it. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale. Hold. 2 more breath cycles like that on your own. Inhale. Turn to your natural breathing pattern. Allow your eyes to open. Stay shut, maybe. Take one more big deep inhale as your arms reach overhead. Hug your arms around your body. Give yourself this great big gratitude hug. Thanking your body for being this amazing part of you. This thing that moves us every day. Sharing gratitude with it. One more big deep inhale. And exhale. I appreciate you being here with me today. For taking time to move your body. To be calm. To be fearless. And to find your freedom of movement. Until next time, I'm Summer. Thank you.